Class of 2020. Riverside Military Academy is a special place. The lessons we've learned, the experiences we've had, and the memories we've made are what bonds us all together. The fun, excitement, and ambition of our senior year was stripped away within the blink of an eye. We missed out on the military ball, on the final weeks before graduation, and ultimately finishing high school with our brothers in blue. But does that change the accomplishments we've made? Does that change the brotherhood we've created? And does that change the legacy we've left? No. We are from every corner of the globe. We represent different races, creeds, and origins, but we are all brothers, leaving behind a legacy that lives forever. Despite the world wars in 1914 and 1939, to the tornadoes and fires of 36 and 59, to the economic depressions of the 1930s and in 2008, whatever challenges we face, the RMA Brotherhood will continue to thrive. This is the time to move forward. We are now the distinguished alumni known as the class that survived the global pandemic. So now, it's our time to go forward, together, and to change the world, to represent the brotherhood and academy that helped us through it all. Riverside Military Academy will always be our home away from home. So let's make everyone proud.
COs, move your units back to the barracks in preparation for departure. All right, y'all. Through punk around the reed.
Welcome, parents and alumni, to our 2021 homecoming stream. I know it is disappointing if you're not able to join us in person, however, that's why we have our stream here today. I do want to inform everybody on stream that we will not have audio of the band or the cadets because it wasn't able to be set up, and so we will have the announcer's voice. Thank you for tuning in to our stream, and I hope that you enjoy the parade.
Mr. Greg Word, Mr. Jeffrey Hurdle, Mr. Arthur Boyfontaine, Mr. Foster Bachschmidt, and Mr. Zachariah Hawk. Welcome also to all alumni who are celebrating their class reunion, and especially 9 gentlemen from the class of 1956 in attendance this year who are celebrating their 65th year class reunion. Thank you for the effort you have made to come home to RMA. I am Zach Garrett, RMA instructor of video production and RMA class of 2011, assisted by Mr. Andy Jobson, chair of the English department. A special welcome is extended also to all alumni, parents, and grandparents joining us today. As the marching units make their way onto the field, I'll briefly describe the historical background associated with some of the movements and activities you'll observe this afternoon. The tradition of parading troops can be traced back to the time of Alexander the Great. In general, drill procedures and movements on the parade field were identical to the tactical maneuvers employed on the battlefield. The tradition of United States military reviews and parades began at Valley Forge, Pennsylvania. At that time, brigades of soldiers were formed in order of battle. Modern-day ceremonies are conducted to render honors, preserve tradition, and foster esprit de corps. Parades were originally the working formation of the Army, which began and ended each day, whereas the reviews were formal dress occasions. The review you'll see today is a continuation of a 200-year-old tradition and does not differ greatly from the parade sequence outlined in Baron von Steuben's Blue Book and as practiced by the American Revolutionary War soldiers. It is interesting to note that the Riverside Military Academy Cadet Regulations Codebook is still published with a blue cover and to this day is referred to as the Blue Book. The presence of band company at the front of the column of troops represents the significant role that the fife, drum, and bugle have played throughout the history for signaling both in garrison and on the battlefield.
The location of the colors at the center of the formation represents their presence at the forefront of regiments and battalions during the heat of battle. The color guard includes, in order, from your left to right, the national colors and the flag of Riverside Military Academy.
The march on is complete. The battalion adjutant will now command sound attention. The adjutant will direct the band to sound adjutant's call. The adjutant moves briskly as he positions himself on the field midway between the corps and the commander of troops to receive reports from each company commander.
Again, I would like to apologize that we do not have any sound right now, but the band currently is sounding off, so if you've ever heard our Riverside Military Academy fight song, that is what they're playing right now.
The commander of troops for today's parade is Cadet Lieutenant Colonel Thomas Hamilton from Cumming, Georgia. Cadet Lieutenant Colonel Hamilton will now maneuver the battalion staff into position in front of the Corps. The battalion staff consists of the Executive Officer, Cadet Major Elias Struve from Atlanta, Georgia. The S1, Cadet First Lieutenant Joshua Yoon from Clearmont, Florida. The S2, Cadet First Lieutenant Jacob Westbrook from Marshall, Texas. The S3, Cadet Captain David Capistine from Issaquah, Washington. The S4, Cadet Captain Loic Ragwazana from Kigali, Rwanda. The S5, Cadet First Lieutenant Luis Alcerica from Cozumel, Mexico. The Command Sergeant Major, Cadet Command Sergeant Major Andrew Preston from Gainesville, Georgia. and Commanding Scout Company, the Honor Council Chairman, Cadet Major Christian Jones from San Diego, California. The hosting officer for today's parade is Colonel Stanley C. Perchevsky, President of Riverside Military Academy. Colonel Perchevsky is now taking his position on the parade field. The Corps will now salute the hosting officer for today's parade, Colonel Perchevsky.
The procedure you are now seeing was once used by commanders to meet with their subordinate leaders prior to an engagement with enemy forces. The colors mark the location of the headquarters. The headquarters is also the traditional location of the unit commander. For this reason, the unit colors are accompanying the unit leaders. Once all had assembled, the commander would pass battle orders to his subordinates. This meeting also gave the commander the opportunity to relay messages and other information that he did not think appropriate for the rank and file to hear.
Please rise and join the Corps in rendering honors to our nation as the Riverside Military Academy Band plays the National Anthem. Please be seated. At this time, the senior academy leaders will ceremonially present swords to the Corps leadership. The sword presentation is a traditional event at Riverside and is normally conducted at homecoming and Parents' Day. The academy leadership evaluated the leadership potential of each cadet during the Corps leadership selection process. In recognition of the authority and responsibilities entrusted to these cadet leaders, Colonel Prochevsky, President, Lieutenant Colonel Carter, Commandant, and Lieutenant Colonel Lee, the senior Army instructor, will present the Corps leadership with their swords. Please hold your applause until all presentations are completed. The battalion commander and his staff will receive their swords first. Cadet Lieutenant Colonel Thomas Hamilton, the battalion commander. Cadet Major Elias Struve, the battalion executive officer. Cadet First Lieutenant Joshua Yoon, the S1. Cadet First Lieutenant Jacob Westbrook, the S2. Cadet Captain David Capistine, the S3. Cadet Captain Loic Rakwazana, the S4. Cadet First Lieutenant Luis Alcerica, the S5. Cadet Command Sergeant Major Andrew Preston, the Command Sergeant Major. Lieutenant Colonel Carter and Lieutenant Colonel Lee will now present swords to the cadet leadership of each company. The cadet leadership of Headquarters Company. Cadet Captain Alfonso Garcia, Headquarters Company Commander.
The cadet leadership of Charlie Company. Cadet Captain Michael Seba, Charlie Company Commander.
Cadet First Lieutenant Christian Vo, Executive Officer.
Cadet First Lieutenant Mitchell Davis, Executive Officer.
Cadet Second Lieutenant Nikita Novov.
Cadet Second Lieutenant David Finley.
Cadet Second Lieutenant Malcolm Graham.
Cadet Second Lieutenant Charles Evans.
Cadet Second Lieutenant Hai Chen Shao.
Cadet First Sergeant Grant Holliday.
Cadet First Sergeant Henry McKinnon. The cadet leadership of Alpha Company. Cadet Captain Cody Bien, Alpha Company Commander.
The cadet leadership of India Company. Cadet Captain Landon Ojeda, India Company Commander.
Cadet First Lieutenant Tan Nguyen, Executive Officer.
Cadet First Lieutenant Hunter Leach, Executive Officer.
Cadet Second Lieutenant Declan Bethel.
Cadet First Sergeant Christian Vega.
Cadet Second Lieutenant Jonathan Taylor. Cadet First Sergeant Alexander Pombo. The Cadet Leadership of Bravo Company. Cadet Captain Troy Bien, Bravo Company Commander.
The Cadet Leadership of Scout Company. Cadet Major Christian Jones, Scout Company Commander.
Cadet First Lieutenant Carlos Gutierrez, Executive Officer.
Cadet First Sergeant Anthony Legaspi.
Cadet Second Lieutenant Paulo Chavez. Cadet Second Lieutenant Dollar Askanoff. Cadet First Sergeant Kaiden Piedmont. This concludes the Academy Sword presentation. Please join us in recognizing and congratulating the new leaders for the 2021-2022 school year. We will now recognize a distinguished alumnus. The distinguished alumnus of 2021 is Mr. Ernest T. Lopez III, class of 1984. Ernest T. Lopez, also known as Ernie or E.T., entered Riverside as a sophomore cadet in 1981. During his 4 years at RMA, he was actively involved in football and wrestling. Lopez and teammate Kirk Morris were often referred to as the heart of the defense for the 1984 football team. According to Coach Biso, E.T. was the consummate Riverside athlete. He would do anything he could to help his team be the best that it could be. He always gave 110% in every competition. Following his graduation from RMA in 1984, Mr. Lopez found his way into the paving and construction industry. In 1996, he commenced operations with Atlanta Paving and Construction and has successfully grown the company to now conducting business in 275 cities in 26 states across the United States, as well as Canada and Ecuador. Under his leadership as President and Chief Executive Officer, Atlanta Paving and Construction is considered a premier paving and concrete construction company in the southeastern United States. In 2015, Mr. Lopez founded Ernest T. Lopez Company, an independent construction company with a primary focus on large projects. In each company, he is highly respected among his employees as he remains deeply involved with every aspect of the business. Mr. Lopez leads from the front in the boardroom, but can frequently be found down in the hole, laying asphalt or pouring concrete on any job that needs an extra set of hands. Mr. Lopez demonstrates a truly philanthropic heart and generously gives back to RMA through time, talent, and treasure. He serves on the Board of Trustees and is chairman of the Buildings and Grounds Committee. He invests personal time in the mentoring of many international cadets before and after their graduation. His professional experience has directly impacted RMA's success in navigating campus and facilities needs, and he has supported scholarships, programs, and capital projects throughout both monetary and in-kind gifts. Joining Mr. Lopez today is his wife, Donna, stepson Dustin Bryson and his wife, Kim, and grandchildren Colin, Blake, and Michaela. In recognition of his achievements, Colonel Prochevsky will present Mr. Lopez with the Distinguished Alumnus Sword. Congratulations, Mr. Lopez. Please stand and join as we recognize the accomplishments of this distinguished alumnus. Thank you. Please be seated. At this time, Colonel Proshevsky invites the following special guest to join him and today's honorees on the reviewing line to take the pass and review. Mr. Greg Word, Chairman of the Board of Visitors. Mr. John McKernan, Chairman of the Alumni Council. And finally, Sergeant Major Sosa, the Academy Sergeant Major.
Right now, the battalion staff are actually marching into place to start pass and review, and as well as the alumni who are forming up so that they can march the pass and review with them. Once again, I want to sincerely apologize about the lack of audio that we had today. We were not able to set up the microphone inside of the press box, and if we had, the audio would not have been comprehensible, and so I very much would like to apologize about the audio. However, I do understand the struggle of not being able to come to the parades. My parents live in New York, I as well live in New York, and I understand the struggle, and I very much apologize for the lack of audio. The next parade that we are streaming, we will try to have audio. But thank you for all sticking around, and the parade and passing review shall begin shortly.
The battalion is led by Cadet Lieutenant Colonel Thomas Hamilton. Headquarters Company is commanded by Cadet Captain Alfonso Garcia from Marietta, Georgia. And the band is led by Drum Major Cadet 2nd Lieutenant Hai-Chen Xiao from Shanghai, China. Alpha Company is commanded by Cadet Captain Cody Bion from Duluth, Georgia. Bravo Company is commanded by Cadet Captain Troy Bion from Duluth, Georgia. Please rise for our national colors. The color guard is led by Cadet Sergeant First Class Aaron Press from Lower Gwynedd, Pennsylvania. Charlie Company is commanded by Cadet Captain Michael Seba from Concord, North Carolina. Please be seated. India Company is commanded by Cadet Captain Landon Ojeda from Gainesville, Georgia. Scout Company is commanded by Cadet Major Christian Jones from San Diego, California. The final unit to pass the reviewing stand is the Alumni Company, who are grouped according to the decade in which they attended RMA. Please rise and remain standing as the band performs the Riverside Military Academy fight song.
As the Corps finishes marching,
Please be
I'd like to
seated.
thank all of you for watching and coming to the stream today. And again, I would really like to
Ladies and
apologize
gentlemen,
about having no audio.
please stand fast as the
But I do
cadets and
sincerely
alumni
thank
carry on
everybody
our
for
Riverside
coming to the
tradition
stream.
by forming the R at midfield. The R has been photographed from many angles over the years, and those photographs have been featured frequently in the Academy's yearbook, The Bayonet. The most notable photograph, which appears in the 1987 yearbook, was the result of a daring pre-dawn covert operation in which senior cadets enhanced the R through the addition of their class year. Today's exhibition is the largest in the school's history and will be photographed for the first time by a drone. Ladies and gentlemen, again, please stand fast as the cadets and alumni carry on our Riverside tradition by forming the R at midfield. The R has been photographed from many angles over the years, and those photographs have been featured frequently in the Academy's yearbook, The Bayonet. The most notable photograph, which appears in the 1987 yearbook, was the result of a daring pre-dawn covert operation in which senior cadets enhanced the R through the addition of their class year. Today's exhibition is the largest in the school's history and will be photographed for the first time by a drone. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for attending today's homecoming parade. All cadet seniors and their guests are reminded that the ring ceremony for the class of 2022 will begin at 6 o'clock in the Carlos and Sandra Cervantes Theater for the Arts. This concludes today's review.
Thank you so much, parents, alumni, and guests for joining us today for our homecoming stream. I would again like to apologize for the lack of audio, but I'd like to thank you for watching and sticking through. Homecoming is a very important part for cadets at Riverside, and hopefully, if you still have a cadet here, you can come join us next year.
Thank you for tuning into our special event coverage at Riverside